Many of you who do not know me will have seen that in this video I didn't cast any blessings of protection over the cards. If you're aware of the way I operate, I don't need to control, I do not need to cast any protections, because I believe that we're all inherently protected. I know that through my life experience that I've alchemized enough to allow the darkness to support me so that the light may draw me up easier. And what is and will be. Doesn't matter the energies that come through, I will always alchemize them. However, take the next 20 seconds to cast your own protections over this, because even though I've taken this video just afterwards, time is relative and it moves forwards and backwards, as I explained in the video, as you probably already know, and you may even know better than I do. So starting from now, cast your protections should you need to. I have no idea as to how the audio quality is going to be on this. I did use another audio device to record and may need to splice that over, but I'll double check them both. Hopefully everything you can be heard, as this is the first time I'm trying this, and if it isn't, then I'll upload it anyway. Thanks everybody. Hanged Man was at the bottom of the first deck retrieval, and then the Wheel of Fortune. That's a nice start, isn't it? So doggies, hello, how are you? You okay there? Oh, that's nice. Nice to meet you both. Ah, say hello. What are you doing up here? Hey, go on. Go on then, you going? Go over there. Don't worry about that, sir, you're okay. Yeah. I wouldn't want to walk on there without any shoes on either, to be honest.
Yeah, you're on there first.
Yeah, absolutely. Right away for the dogs, of course. How are you, okay?
Yeah, you?
Yeah, I'm living the dream. It's about time, really.
Yeah, it is. Cool. Have a good one.
And you? Ace of Pentacles, growth. So this is going to be about growth today by the look of it. That's going to be the kind of querent here. Who can I serve today? Judgment. Page of Swords. Action. Growth, action, education. Have we got any more? I'm going to go for the 4. Got any more? Going to go for the 4. 9 of Pentacles and the Fool. I'm going to put those together. So yeah, that will be the 4th, if that makes sense. So we'll have them both together. Got comfort and change. So comfort in change. Growth comes from action, by learning, which then brings comfort in change, in doing what we're not normally able to do. Having that leap of faith. We just had those doggies go by, and the Fool card has got the doggy there. Let's get some Midnight Magic mushrooms on this as well. Oh yeah. Seem like I'm stood right in the way, but I'm not. Just for those doggies. 5 of Cups, 6 of Cups, 7 of Cups, 9 of Cups. They don't seem like they're properly mixed, do they? No. Fool, 8 of Swords, 9 of Swords. King of Cups, Ace of Swords, 2 of Swords, 3 of Swords, 4 of Swords. This is a new deck, but let's see, because all things are one. So, Ace of Pentacles and confirmation message here. Let's have a go. Can we get an angle? Who am I ready to forgive? Landed on the Fool, so that's the change. And that's also from the Judgment, comes down from the Judgment, the action that leads down. And we'll find out what this path is saying, but it's asking us to forgive. Who am I ready to forgive? So our growth, from what I can see at the moment, the growth in ourselves, taking off the aircraft, flying over the water, that growth comes in taking action to forgive. To forgive we need education, we need knowledge about a situation, probably knowledge about ourselves. That will bring us comfort and able to make new beginnings, the end of something, so that we can begin a new cycle, a leap of faith in getting that comfort. 5 of Cups. It's about loss, pessimism and regret. In order to grow, we have to lose that old mindset. We have to lose that lack mentality, that mindset, the lacking mindset. The hard time of loss, separation or sadness has leaked into your life. Your loved ones want to support you, so let their comfort help drain away any feelings of regret, focusing on The negative can distract you from seeing what tools you have around you during this hard time. You're getting the colour blue come up here, with flashes of yellow. No. Yellow with flashes of blue. Okay. So judgment, action coming from the Six of Cups. Nostalgia, harmony, starting anew. So yeah, coming out of that loss mindset, getting out of that mindset, the action to take will be to come into that Six of Cups, which is a natural progression that goes into that new start, which will bring you harmony, right? Recall happy and playful memories or reunions that are important to you. Reconnect with positive characters or stories from your past and let warm feelings of nostalgia inspire your present journey. Now, that will probably come from a situation that was prior to whatever this is that you're going to lose. It may even be some parts of that situation that you're about to lose that you're going to even find some of the answers, because if you've had it once before, even within a bad situation, it means that you can have it again. So the upright, the Seven of Cups, you are inundated with many promising choices. Recognize what may be illusion and what is truly attainable. Carefully study shadows for hidden treasures sheltered within the shade. Yeah? In order to study, we need knowledge about what it is. We need the education. The action is to educate ourselves, which leads us into the Seven of Cups. Opportunities, illusions and wishful thinking. You are inundated with many... Oh, that's what I've just read that, haven't I? Yeah, so that's what that was. When we come out of something old and we go into that anew, leaving that old cycle, going into a new cycle that we think to be positive, if it's the opposite of what we've always done, then the likelihood is it's going to be towards our best benefit. However, that may not always, we might not actually be able to see what that is straight away, because, and the real reason for that is because we're going into unexplored territories. So while we're going into those new opportunities, being aware of what we are letting go of in the way of all of the past actions, it's like making sure that we're learning about ourselves so we're not repeating the same cycles, or at least in that old mindset that would, because the new opportunities may present themselves in ways that we actually wanted in our previous mindsets. Like the things that we wanted to attain in our previous mindset may now come up as opportunities, right? But they're illusions, because they will lead us back into that cycle, which will inevitably bring us back into that loss, into that lack. But if it's meant to be, it will be. The good thing about this is that you don't need to worry about what it is, because everything is going to happen at the right time for the right reasons, and learning our lessons is a part of it. So this that's coming, these illusions that may come, don't fear them, because you're all right. Everything is okay. You know yourself now. You've done the work. You've done a lot of work. So it's just being mindful, maintaining that knowledge about yourself, always growing, right? So the comfort and change, coming to the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups, which is, yeah, look, contentment, satisfaction and wish fulfillment. Being comfortable with yourself, being comfortable with what you've learned, being comfortable with letting go of that loss, allowing that to be a loss, which brings about that new for that greater good. It's like the combination of these two are the death card. It's like the death of something, right? And if we don't allow that death and bring it into the new, then that's when it turns into a tower. But you've got judgment there, which is 20, and you've got ace, which is 11. And it's that action, right? The action brings it in. through the knowledge, the education, the educating of the self. Page of Swords, the message of wisdom. Yeah, we've got full moon here in that page of Swords. We've got, and maybe Venus there as well. But actually no, it's Earth with the moon. There's questions being asked of the moon. It's being sent up, and then the wish is coming back down. We've got a star here coming back down, the wish. Aiming for just comfortability, just to be comfortable, will also help us with the illusions that may come. Taking that leap of faith into actually being comfortable can help bring that wish fulfillment that you've always had. That inner wish, not that conscious wish, but that inner wish. The one that we don't even really know about ourselves. But we have a feeling of what it will feel like. But usually when it manifests itself in a way that's actually better than what we originally imagined, providing we do not try to control it. We let the universe do whatever it's going to do. Appreciate this card as a sign that wishes are coming true, but celebrate with confidence and not pride. There we go. Because to be proud is to be inwardly concise. Don't settle, but let your success inspire you to go even further. So it's being comfortable in making that leap of faith all the time, stepping into that new all the time, because you're going to be progressing forever, but in the positive, because you let go of that anchor, that's of the old, making that step forward, learning, which brings you into that continuously having faith in yourself, because you've seen through the illusions, because you've become aware of yourself, and now you're constantly stepping forward. It's like this is happening all the time. Right, to support this loss, for this growth, you've got the King of Cups. Diplomatic, balanced and fatherly. This is that masculine energy, right? This is that nurturing. It's that nurturing of yourself through this time. It's not the feminine, which is that like hardcore decision making cut with a sword. This is that nurturing yourself through this period of loss. Accepting of yourself, being patient with yourself. This card inspires warm and civil diplomacy with an even-tempered patriarchal hand. There we go. Follow your intuition to expertly outmaneuver obstacles and bolster those around you through steady encouragement. Yeah, it's allowing yourself to act and to nurture your action. Not everything comes straight away. Okay, we have to be willing to fail so that we can learn. And it's like that letting go of that loss isn't just a click of the finger thing, right, it's done. If we do it like that, then we're doing it from the negative. It's the positive we want to do it from. So it's letting it go with that unconditional love and being patient with yourself when you're being resistant and knowing that that's okay. So the Six of Cups, that anew is supported by the Fool. Again, like I said, that Fool. We've got the devil energy here, because like the foxes are meant to be of the 666. Not that the 666 is a bad thing at all, I don't say that. But it's like that foxy energy, right? They're actually very caring foxes, I love foxes. But on this card, we can see like a spirit bird with an eye that's watching, even though it's the zero, the point of creation under the moon. The moth, it's it's, you know, moths are symbiotic with death as well, right? But it's death of an old fort, because you got a branch of a tree here, and it's like that runic. It's that like Viking kind of the tree of life, you know, where Odin understood the runes. He pinned himself upside down from the tree. But the leap of faith is, who am I ready to forgive? First of all, before you can forgive anybody else, you have to forgive yourself. You need to be able to forgive yourself, otherwise you won't be qualified to forgive. I am not what happened to me. I am who I choose to become. There we go. That's exactly it. Letting go of that past, that anchor. But it happened. Yes, it happened. So only use it for experience in thyself, in knowing the self, but don't hold on to it. Don't hold on to the back thinking that it's going to allow you to be able to change who you are. Like, don't use any justifications of the past to maintain your current actions when you're trying to let go of something. Hello. Is it time to let go, forgive and move onward? Is your soul ready to forgive someone else or yourself? Forgiveness brings sweet release, freedom and insight. Look at it from their shoes. Notice how you grew. There we go. It is looking at it from their shoes, right? When I had my dark night of the soul, the only thing that kept me going, it was like the only thing I could do to get me out of the situation that I was in, and it was a dire situation, was to be able to take out of denial that which I knew to be true anyway, right? So it was being called evil, being called the devil, all of the things, narcissist, all of these things, and being able actually, even though I knew that I wasn't those things, but to be able to take that point of view and then look through my memories at the times when people would call me this and why they would call it to me, and then to turn around and say, you know what, I can actually see where from their perspective that's me, but then looking at what that was, and then looking at the consequences, and then realizing that actually it came from a place of unconditional love, I was able to forgive myself. And then knowing that when people usually say this kind of stuff about each other, like they're projecting themselves, because it's pot kettle black, right? So in that case, they're projecting onto you that you're evil, which means that they are feeling evil, they know evil, they are evil. But if we have looked at ourselves and said, actually, yes, that could be considered evil, and then realizing that it came from a place of unconditional love, then the same is likely to be true for them, that the reasons why they are evil and the reasons why they're projecting came from a place of unconditional love. They just got lost along the way. And even if that's not true and that they are truly evil, at least you can feel that way, and that helps to let go, because it's like, it's an end of a cycle. I can forgive them, even if from my perspective, all I can see is that this, but from their perspective it could be something completely different. Hope that makes sense. Who do you want to become, and how is this resistance holding you from what your soul wants? Write a forgiveness letter, then practice the Ho'oponopono prayer today. Never heard of it. While thinking of the person you are ready to forgive. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. Beautiful, I like that. Then it goes to the 8 of Swords and the 9 of Swords, and this is like decisive action now by the sound of it. Let's have a look, because it's a 8 of Swords, which is injury, restriction, victim mentality. Yes, 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 yes. The reason why we can, like, it's getting out of that victim mentality. This has happened to me, this poor me, right? Because the situations that have happened to you, where people are projecting to you, yes, they did happen, but they don't serve you anymore to hold into that. You've got to make peace with yourself, peace with them. It's gone, it's past, it's done. You are unable to take action due to restriction of physical injury or mental trauma, but this outside force has trapped you in the escapable predicament. Rely on intuition rather than thoughts to free yourself. What I told you there was how I intuitively got over the issues that I did, and I hope that that can provide something that can bolster your own perspective, to feed your own intuition. That 8 of Swords is in the centre of the Fool and the 9 of Swords. So this would almost seem like this is your current point within this cycle, right? So you want to move forward, you want to take that leap of faith, and you know, you maybe say that you forgive the other person, but do you really? Right? Do you really? Have you actually done it? Because it's almost like the mental trap of what has happened to us in the past is kind of stopping us from doing that. right? Because it's like you haven't been heard, or you haven't heard yourself for what's happened to you. Nine of Swords, anxiety, insomnia and depression. Past external traumas are keeping you up at night. Face those troubles head on by talking to someone who can help. Learn what depression might look like for you, which could be different from what society characterises it as. Absolutely. The general consciousness of people, which is the average consensus, right? They don't know what words mean. They really don't. They hear them in sentences that people use them, and then take their meaning from the word, from the context in which it's perceived as. But when we're in our previous mindset, that negative mindset, we won't be able to actually see it for what it truly is. And I was actually going to put that video up of the story of Narcissus later on, which is that narcissist, as told by Paulo Coelho. And I think that this is something that I'm definitely going to have to do now because of it. Right? But we've got the Nine of Swords there, and underneath that new opportunities, because the education, if we look at it, it runs down from here, through here, into that educating yourself. We're educating ourselves about what our illusions are, right? About what it is that's holding us, restricting us. We're looking into what's making us depressed about the situation, what we're truly missing, asking ourselves the truth and being able to listen to that truth. Maintaining that guise of, am I being a poor me in this situation? Forgive yourself for your part in whatever situation it is. Even if your part in the situation is but a drop in the ocean, it's still a drop in that ocean. And that situation wouldn't have happened if we weren't in that frequency, being it through consciousness or subconsciousness. So learning about it is going to get us through into that Seven of Cups, which is supported by that Ace of Swords. Now, where are you, monsieur? I don't know why I'm saying monsieur. I never usually use monsieur. French. It's hiding from me. Here we go. Knight. Page. Does it, in this book, does it, here we go. No, that's Pentacles. So if it goes, right, so in this it's considered 1, because it's both 1 and 11 anyway. Ace of Swords. Beginnings, decisions, assertiveness, right. After we have the knowledge, we have to be assertive with our decisions, with everything that we've learned. We've got to be, it's like being assertive with your boundaries. It's once you've made those boundaries by forgiving and understanding the cycles that got you into a place where you even needed to forgive in the first place, right? That Ace of Swords is being firm with your own boundaries. Unconditionally love, but remember, looking after thyself before you can look after anybody else. The qualification of you being able to help anybody else means you know how to look after yourself, and to do that we have to have the boundaries, and by maintaining those boundaries we are then qualifying ourselves to make new boundaries and to be completely honest with ourselves. Yeah. And the Ace of Swords it's like Alpha and Omega and everything in between. It is that Swords energy, but it's number 1 all the way through to completion of number 10, and then back to number 1 again, because 1 is the observation, 0 is the point of creation, and number 10, the completion, means that something has been finished, but now it's been completed to a point where there's a new beginning that comes from that completion. And the 11 is like that Gemini, it's that twins, it's being able to see both sides, it's being able to see both polarizations through everything that comes through that Swords energy, which is that justice, which is that investigation, which is that communication, right? To be able to pick any point in the process and be able to polarize it. A new journey that will require cleverness and mental aptitude lies before you. The path may be a bit bumpy, but the Ace card encourages you to gather fortitude. And that's like, with the education and observing all of these new opportunities, and not just jumping for the first one because you've been in that kind of lonely mindset where you've needed something for so long, but actually to almost refrain yourself by actually asking yourself and taking your time over each of the opportunities that come up as they come up, which then actually gives you that self-confidence. It's that it brings you that fortitude of self because of what you've learned, and then observing how you've alchemized everything to see both sides of a situation through this new situation that comes across, to actually say to yourself, is this truly what I want? Yes, this is much better than where I was before, but is much better where I want to be, or do I want to be on my actual path? Do I want to get that which is actually destined for me, right? So the Nine of Cups supporting that change. I think we did that one, didn't we? And that was Nine of Cups. Yeah, that satisfaction, that contentment. So if this is your reading, right, if you're resonating with this, because this could be anything. Remember, this is Pentacles, it's growth. This could be something coming out of an old job, something out of an old home, maybe you're moving to a new place to live, but it's also a lot of heart here. There's a lot of heart, and there's a lot of decision and introspection and observation, but there's forgiveness as well. So it could be that you're moving away from a job, it could be you're moving out of a home, it could be that you're moving out of a relationship. All of these things mean, right, they have that occurrence, but you're satisfied. You're going to do this work. You're going to do this work because you actually do really, you've done the work, really. And all it is that's coming through here is like this new, I call them tests, though we never really get tested because we're always in the right place at the right time. But it's a new perspective that it's going to come at you from, to either to test whether you've learnt the lesson or whether you need a new perspective to learn that lesson. But by the looks of it, you've done it, you've managed it, you've got this, you've got that polarization, you've got that Two of Swords, which I love. I feel that the Ace of Swords belongs to the Seven of Cups, and the Fool, the Eight of Swords and the Nine of Swords belong to the Six of Cups, and the Two of Swords, the Three of Swords and the Four of Swords all belong to the Nine of Cups. Though you can read it in any way and it should always still make sense, because time is relative to us, but to the energy it can be in any way, shape or form, because that's how that manifestation works. It's interdimensional. So we've got the Three of Swords, heartbreak, betrayal, medical attention. Easy. This is a difficult card to receive because heartbreak and betrayal pierce the vulnerable parts of everyone's life. Hurtful words used against genuinely good individuals are rarely legitimate. Thoughtfully address any medical issues, physical or mental, at this time. This, I can see, can come to something legal. It can definitely come to that past person that's maybe trying to come in, and that past person coming in isn't going to like the fact that you've actually outgrown them, because they've seen you grow, right? They've seen you grow and they want to come back in, but they were the karmic lessons, so they're coming back in and they're going to try to break you again like they did the first time, whatever the situation is. Just be careful with any physical kind of fights. If this person was physical with you in the past, if the situation was physical with you in the past, I would certainly suggest, if you're going to meet with them, which it's like you're going to anyway, to stay in a social setting. Make sure that you follow your own education, what you've been teaching yourself, right? To make sure that you keep yourself safe. That's our own responsibility. We're protected anyway, right? So I wouldn't worry too much about that. But if we go into that reactive energy and we allow, because we want to forgive, right? Which means that we need some sort of closure. But we've got to be careful as to how that karmic energy is going to try to pull us back in again. So we need to be assertive with our decisions that we make to make sure that we're doing what is best for us. If they're unwilling to be able to see you in a certain way, in a way that you want to be seen as well, right? Because it's about mutual agreement, then that should be enough to say, no, this would only happen again if I go back into it. But we go into the Four of Swords. Rest, meditation and recuperation. So coming from this, that comfort and change, it's going to bring you that closure. You're going to have to recuperate after this, and you know, you might feel a bit worn out after this whole situation, because you're probably going to be processing very quickly all of these things that have come out, all of these hidden truths that have probably come out as well, all of the lies. And remember that if it's a past karmic cycle, then there's going to be a lot of lies there. But you're becoming comfortable with change, and you know that this Four of Swords, this rest and recuperation, is exactly what you needed, because it's actually going to propel you forwards, right? You're going to be able to allow that to come out, and I think it, especially out of the physical. So I would definitely consider, like it said, meditation. Any of the things that you like to do, like walking in nature, sitting by the sea. There's a crow over there watching me. That rhymed. Whatever it is that you do to actually get that mental energy out of your body through a physical transmutation, you're going to need to do that. But really, it's that center part, the action, because of the growth and the education, learning about yourself. If you need to stay inside, if you feel like you need to retreat for a little while inward, then that's okay as well. But observe when you need to do that, and observe when you're doing that out of an anxious state, out of that depressive state. It's okay to rest, but I wouldn't fall into that depressive cycle, right, where we go back into that poor me, because we don't go backwards anymore. We allow the energies to move forward and backwards. There's only one way for us to go, and that's the way with the expansion of the universe in this 3D realm. Overall, I'd say that this is a fantastic reading here. Down here, it's like, this is the above. Can you see how the cards are lights? You know where I say that we're protected because the light pulls us up, but the darkness supports us. Look at the foundation of all of this darkness. It's thick, and we are going this way along it. And by going this way along it, we learn the process, and it means that when we look backwards to anyone else who wants to go along this path and not go down into this way and get lost in the fungus of the world, you can actually help each other, right? It's wonderful. Anyway, I hope that will make sense. Thank you.